Oh yeah, I got like a brain hemorrhage, and I stood up, and at a certain point you feel something, not snapping in your head or something, but yeah, you felt something in the back of your neck and my shoulders, and from there on, you need a medical attention, you need an ambulance.
Right guys, we're here to do an interview that's presented by Qatar Airways. My former teammate when we won the Champions League in 2008 in Moscow, Mr. Edwin van der Sar. Now listen, he's been through a lot. He's had a brain hemorrhage about a year ago. When I get a little bit of understanding of how he was, how he feels, as a perspective on life changed and what's coming up for him in the future. So listen man, make sure you're ready, make sure you stay tuned for Edwin van der Sar.
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
What are you doing now? You traveling? We went out for something to eat the other day.
Yeah, no, I said like whatever. I played, of course, till 40, and then did a stint of being a director at Ajax for like 11 years. Resigned last year. Just getting a little bit of a lesser pace in my life than before.
What's it like for you, like coming away here? Because you've not done this really much at all. Coming and seeing it. We went out for some food. Me, you, G, Vida, and Berber yesterday.
Yeah, but lovely.
Like, what's that like for you? Because you've not done that, I'm sure. With
No,
the group,
of course.
with a big group.
Yeah, I think when you're working in an organization, your first priority is the organization, making sure that everybody is safe, making sure the organization runs well. But of course, nice things like a golf tournament or these legend games, or even coming up to United. You hardly do that. So it's nice to have that time now to find a little bit lesser pace in your life, slow down, and do things for yourself.
Is there anything you miss about the lads? Like I sit there sometimes and laugh. We were laughing a lot yesterday lunchtime and that. But what is it that you miss? I remember Berber talking about what he missed. What about you?
Yeah, I think I've been of course in the football organization. So during the day, of course, I'm not a coach. I'm not a manager. But you see a lot of players. You see a lot of staff. So. And in general, it works similar. Being in the office, also you have friends. You make friends. Also, you have a laugh. Also, but experience that you had in whatever over the 6 years that I was at United, the things that you won, the jokes that were there in the dressing room. It's still the same. If you see each other, it's you certainly click back to whatever 2006 to 2011. And it feels right. I think that's the most important thing with guys. And then that brings me to a moment where I remember getting a phone call from someone who said, "Have you read the paper?" I said, No. What do you mean? I said, something's happened to Edwin. And I remember saying, you never in your wildest dreams think it's going to be a negative call like that. And I remember getting the call and I had chills. I was like, well, so I rang around a few people and they were saying, yeah, Edwin's not well, man. What was that like? What was that in terms of your life? Oh yeah, I got like a brain hemorrhage, and I resigned in the end of May, and July I was in Croatia. I had a fantastic week on the boat with the family. Then the week after we're in a hotel on one of the islands. And at a certain point, it happened with my wife in 2009.
Yeah, because that happened with Anne-Marie as well. And I remember at that time as well, for you and your family was terrible.
Yeah, so... But yeah, all about whatever tragedies, that kind of stuff. So yeah, things happen in your life, and it's not meant to be, of course. But you have to deal with it. And
what actually happened?
Yeah, you wake up, you go to. I stood up, and at a certain point you feel something, not snapping in your head or something, but you felt something in the back of your neck and my shoulders, and from there on, you need a medical attention, you need an ambulance, you needed a hospital, and before you know it, you were there.
Is that panicking when you're abroad? Because I always think if I'm I'd like to be at home or in the UK. Or
of
Amsterdam,
course,
obviously.
Home is that's the most ideal. But the most important thing is that there's someone with you or next to you that can help, that can raise the alarm and make sure there's a doctor. And from there on, I think every country has a system. Yeah, then all the things go there: ambulance, hospital, doctors. I stayed there for a week and got great care. Only I wanted to, at a certain point, you want to go back to Holland and make sure that you talk the same language and you have maybe a little bit more connection with the doctors in a Dutch hospital than in Croatia. But they've been fantastic.
And then post that and that episode, and now you're feeling much better. You look amazing. The training session you was amazing as well.
Oh, thank you.
Are you totally well and fine now and feel perfect again?
No, I've not been in let's say the business surroundings where you're be at 8:30 in the office. You have several meetings, you have phone calls, you have discussions, you have long meetings, you have another meetings, you have phone calls, you have emails. You drive back at 7:30 in the evening. You've called a few people that you missed during the day, and at 8:15 you're at home. So I've not done a day like that, for example. And if I'm not really sure if I even want to have more days like that, or focus on smaller projects or some other organizations or different surroundings. I'm not sure.
Seems to have given you a different perspective on life, though, and an appreciation for a few of different bits like traveling, food. I know you love your food. Quality food, quality over quantity.
Absolutely. Same for you, or not?
Yeah, 100%. You got to keep the body in shape. You can't eat too much.
not too much salad.
Yeah, exactly. But like Berber's a salad man now. We were talking to Timotar Berbatov yesterday, and he was like, he doesn't eat meat, does he? So he's just very water, very clean, pure living. But me and Edwin were sitting there going, look, there's steak Wagyu beef sitting there.
Nice. Got that little plate from him and everything. Just shove it over to our little barbecue station.
Yeah, it was lovely, wasn't it? It was lovely. Let's take it back to the beginning, many years ago. So like before you obviously joined United in 2005, you were at Juventus and you were at Ajax before. And there'll be a lot of younger people that might not even realise or know, but you won the Champions League with a really young goalkeeper at Ajax. What was that like? And talk about that team a little bit.
No, I think the team was there in the mid 90s were like mainly combined like young players. Ajax was famous for the youth academy, so we had young players like Edgar Davids, Mark Overmars, Franco Ronald de Boer, Clarence Seedorf, Patrick Kluivert. So that was a great environment for myself to get in, because I never been in an academy setup at Ajax. I only came when I was 18, 19. 24, we won the Champions League with an incredible, talented team, coached by Louis van Gaal, who was for us like say what Ferguson is for you or for Scholesy, that kind of guys. Van Gaal was for us like really the mentor and the guy who had the plan, who knew what we needed in training, the tactics. We really had like a strong team, strong connection with each other, and slowly, one by one, everybody started to leave. Some guys went to England, some went to Barcelona, and for myself, had few opportunities to go. I went in '99. I spoke to Liverpool for a long time, and at a certain point,
it could have been different, very different for you.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and to Juventus, and I wanted a new challenge. I thought Italy would be like a real proper challenge with new language. I think the goalkeeping, it's sort of like an art there, the defending. I wanted to experience that, and I always thought like in England it would be easier to get into England to the Premier League than into the Serie A.
Also Italian, your style, your man of style. I always knew you liked your style, Ed, man.
Come on. I've grown into it a little bit, but it's all right.
So Ancelotti's your manager at Juventus, and you go, what's it like going into a new change room, new environment, new country?
Yeah, it was harder than I expected, to be fair, because like the first day I arrived, straight away went like for 2.5 weeks into the hotel, into the mountains, in the Valle d'Aosta. You're surrounded by Italian players, and that was good to learn the language. Edgar Davids was there at the time.
Was Zidane there then?
Zizou was there.
What was he like?
Amazing. Quiet guy with his technique, the way he was so gentle, like the way he caressed the ball without a fuss. Was one of the. Of course, afterwards same as Cristiano, you take steps in doing your career. So at Madrid, I think he came to real, the full Zidane that we all know. But he's a great player.
You've played with some ridiculous players over the years. Give me like you know what? I'm going to come back. I'm going to come
Well,
back.
you want to be back? You want to be in the team also?
No. I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to come back to that because we do. We've got all the guys that come on Rio Meets to do their best five-a-side team. No goalkeepers.
Okay, no. Yeah. I saw that one. Why did you miss out the goalkeeper?
Just the goalkeeper. It's only going to be you or Peter Schmeichel, isn't it? So that's it. It makes it boring. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you leave Juventus, but Buffon comes there.
Yeah.
Is that the reason you go?
Yeah. To be fair, it's like what I said. Like in the training camp, I went to sit at a table with only Italians. So I think I was there with Conte, with Tacchinardi, and with Pippo Inzaghi, just to learn the language straight away. So I always, now you know that a little bit. I speak 4 or 5 languages, so I'm interested in languages and interested to learn new cultures, and to have the best opportunity for myself to prove myself in the Serie A is to learn the language, because whatever my game is also all about coaching, making sure that the positions are taken, that the cross is not coming, that the shot is whatever, that the defenders are a little bit to the right, while in that part I can take the left side of the goal. So in that way, it was a great learning curve for myself, even at the older age. I was 28 when I went to Juventus, but I never felt really comfortable, like the way my type of play combined with the football in Italy. That's why at a certain point, I was not reaching the top levels that I needed for myself, and I think that Juventus wanted to have. So at that point, they started to look for something else, and that was Gianluigi Buffon, who was the rising star of the goalkeeping generation in Italy. So and that's why I needed a new challenge.
So then you go to Fulham for 7 million.
Something like that, yeah. I think once again there were a few opportunities, but they wanted to wait till the end of the transfer window. I wanted to play. I think Dortmund was in, Liverpool was in again.
Yeah, Liverpool, man. What are they doing? Why are they trying to take my goalkeeper?
I know. And I wanted to get away, and I wanted to play as quickly as possible. And Fulham was a great opportunity. They had a story to tell. The finances were right. It was London. So I thought, make the step to the Premier League, play the 1-2 years, and then I make a step up to a bigger team. Or let's see how Fulham progresses, because they had a big ambition. That only took me 4 years to get that step up.
I know, it was too long for me. But was there any specific differences? Did you have to adapt your game from the Dutch league to the Italian league and into the Premier League? What were the things you might have had to do differently?
No, I think my game has always been about being like 11th player, making sure that I was comfortable on the ball, making sure that the ball could move the ball from left to right.
Because goalkeepers didn't think like that then. Goalkeepers didn't try and be
but I think that changed in 93 or 92 or something. Like the back pass was not allowed to play the back pass and to the goalkeeper anymore to pick it up. So that we worked on that a lot at Ajax. So we had an attacking style at Ajax. Juventus wanted also a philosophy like that, but it was difficult to change in Italian culture. Even though the stories from the football director and the manager were there, but that type of play that Juventus had didn't suit my game, and that sometimes happened with a striker. A striker needs whatever crosses, and I needed also more space between my defenders and myself. So I didn't feel comfortable and didn't make enough saves. Didn't make. To make myself important for the club.
And then let's move on. Fulham, you had a wonderful time there. You were one of the top goalkeepers in the Premier League, and you signed for Manchester United. Talk to me how that happened. And firstly, when you signed, after about a week, I was saying, how have we waited this long to get this guy? Cool, calm, composed, makes save when he needs to, but just makes us feel more comfortable. What was it like coming to United?
I think that was the reason why Ferguson signed me at the end. I think it was on. I think Ruud had a conversation at the end of the season before about whatever next steps for United, and she said, "Yeah, we're looking for a midfielder and then and a goalkeeper." And so, why don't you take Van der Sar?
Ruud van Nistelrooy said that.
Yeah.
Yes, Ruud.
So okay, but he's old and everything, and. Okay, but he still plays in Premier League. He plays for the national team, so probably have another 2 good years in him. And I think that's how the ball started rolling.
So what was that first conversation like with Sir Alex Ferguson?
He left some voice message on my phone. I had to listen 3 times to it to
to
understand it. Was hello Edwin, this is Alex Ferguson. And that took me 3 times. Okay, press 7 to hear the message again. Okay, fucking hell, Alex Ferguson calling me. So I gave him a call back, and he spoke about let's say, yeah, we're starting to have create a good team again. We need some certainty at the back. We have a young centre half. He needs some guidance. He needs a little bit of coaching, and then he can grow into a world class centre half. So I think I want to give you that job, and of course stop some balls that are coming through. That was more or less the conversation that he had. He needed some. I said, Tim Howard, great goalkeeper, but it's still a bit young. I want to have your experience to, let's say, bring Man United back to whatever, a higher level.
Did you almost sign? Was you almost a replacement for Peter Schmeichel? Because I always saw little rumours like that.
I think,
what was that situation?
I was in Turin when we more or less had 95% agreed of the contract and everything, and then I believe Man United called, and on that night that Schmeichel was leaving, and if they wanted me to replace him. But I felt already gave my word to Juventus, and I think when I give my word, then it's done.
You have to respect that. So you walk into Man United's change room, and I think we can throw that forward to now. Like Onana's done that, David De Gea done that before that. What's it like coming into Manchester United Football Club as a goalkeeper?
Yeah, I think because I was, let's say, fairly experienced. I was 34 when I joined United, so 33. So I've you've seen it all. I played World Cups, played Euros, won Champions Leagues. But I had a period of that, 2 years at Juventus, 4 years at Fulham, that I didn't win anything. So my eagerness to win something, to have a nice ending of my career, that's what drove me to whatever, to get more out of myself, get more out of the team. And of course, there's a nice backbone there already. Giggs, Gary, even Phil was still there. Yourself, Rooney was emerging himself as talent. Ronaldo was a talent. So there was Keane was still there. So in that way, it was easy to get in to the team for me and get into the changing room, and set my standards that I wanted to, how to organize my defense, making sure that the way we wanted to play together, that it was successful.
You mentioned the names there, like obviously household names, some of them. What did that leave on you immediately when you walked in there? What was the feeling you got when you walked in?
Felt like a glove. Felt like straight away when I was that, like a warm bath. Like, this is my house, this is my home, this is my house.
Warm bath, I like that.
A warm bath. I felt that this is my place. So this is where I can perform. This is where I can show my qualities, my skills. At Fulham, there was like a lower anticipation. If you lost on the Saturday, it didn't really matter. Your game was always at the end of match of the day, to be fair. So always had to wait a long time before you saw the games. Life in London was nice, but you wanted that challenge, you wanted that kick to bring the best out of yourself and demand more from players and from the staff, and that's what United gave me.
We're out here in Korea for this Legends game, and myself, you and Vida took a picture of us three.
That's a nice picture, wasn't it, Rio? Absolutely.
I was happy. Vida was the one, let's do it. And I was like, I didn't think about this. This is a great picture. I love it.
Absolutely.
People try and build relationships on a pitch and combinations. We were fortunate to have one that I loved every minute of it, right? But from your perspective, how did the foundations of that start?
It's a great mix. Let's say myself, an experienced goalkeeper, yourself, I think the qualities that you had on the ball, where you develop yourself as a player from West Ham, going to Leeds, going to United, and challenging for major honors. The same for Vida, came from Serbia, Moscow, into the Premier League, was new, was a little bit, it was rougher than yourself. Of course, you were not shy of a challenge, of course, but Vida was. So I think that package of us three, or with Patrice, or with Gary, or with Wes, I think that was the backbone of the team, and of course the strikers and the midfielders. They had the attention with the goals or the crosses or the tricks. But I think the foundation of a successful football club should be built from the back. And I think we had that in the combination of qualities that we all had.
I think communication between us off the pitch was huge as well. I think we had some good conversations. I think I always remember one where we used to talk about, especially if I got 1v1 with someone in the box, what side I would show them and where I would stand. Talk me through them details from a goalkeeper's perspective.
No, I think the goal is the size of what the goal is, and so if I can help you defending better or putting a player to one side and I can cover the other side, so that helps me a lot also. So the more I coach you, the less I have to do, and that's always been my mantra. Making sure that the cross didn't come. I always had a great overview. If I was looking at the cross, I saw the striker coming into your back, and I could coach you also in the meantime. And that at the end, that helped me. Of course, some goalkeepers like to make saves. I didn't like to make saves because I rather have that you do the job.
So you
of course, it's going to be a nice quote somewhere now, but. But the main thing is like whatever. If I'm called upon, I should be there. But in the meantime, I had to organize everything. That's the shot, the cross, the one-on-one, or the through ball was not there.
It's weird. I had 2 goalkeepers in my career that spoke to me with huge conviction. David Seaman was one of them. When I shouted keepers in the boxes, the ball, he threw it out. He caught it and threw it out, and he shouted me, "Oi, don't shout keepers in my box." Yeah. And I remember I think I must have been getting carried away with myself or whatever, just emotional. Right.
Only once, or that happens more often.
But I think I was shouting at you loads during a couple of games. And I remember you said to me after the game, "Rio, come on, man, you don't need to shout at me. Let's discuss it." And you talked about a couple of things. So just on the pitch, you don't need to shout like that. If a mistake's made or you're not happy with something, just get on with it, concentrate on your game. I was like, you know what? Actually, he's right. He's right.
Yeah, I think I made a great contribution to the team. That's something what was needed, what Ferguson said from the start. And of course, you never know how it ends. But we had a great couple of years, or even more, like 6 years. That we won major trophies, major honors. It was for me the cherry on the cake, on the icing, whatever you call it. It felt right. And that was what I said, like when we saw each other yesterday for lunch, the conversations, the things that we experienced, the laughs that we had, the situation that we talked about, and that is something in life also that is really nice. And of course, everybody takes his own path to a media director, coach, not doing anything, whatever you want to do, but to see each other and experience that feeling again. We talked also yesterday briefly about that Michael Carrick testimonial, that everybody was, let's say, back in the dressing room. Was it 2014 maybe? I don't know. I'm not sure when it was. But everybody's taking his own place. Ferguson doing the team talk again.
It was nice feeling.
Those things are great to feel.
Did you get the
again.
chills that day? I got the hairs on the back of my neck stood up a little bit. It felt like I'm back.
Yeah.
Physically, I was gone, but I felt back.
Absolutely. But in your mind, you've stayed a player.
What would you say is the pinnacle moment at Manchester United for you? What would that have been for you?
The Champions League final in 2008 was for myself then. Normally, all the attention goes to a striker who scores a winning goal and that kind of thing. So, and of course, Chelsea is a great team. We fought some great battles with them in the Premier League and then also in Europe. Yeah, to win another Champions League trophy, that was greatest thing to happen.
Take us back to what's the build up for a goalkeeper? Are you thinking about being the star maybe for a penalty shootout? Or?
I don't think a goalkeeper thinks from the start he's going to be a star. That's like it's you want to be, of course, important, but the main thing is save the balls that are coming towards you. Make sure you make a good contribution to the result. But you're not thinking about scoring the winning goal or whatever, saving that last minute shot or free kick or penalty. Almost. Of course, the preparation is there. You knew the team. In general, I would love to play another team because I think we played so many times against Chelsea.
Yeah.
You knew all the players, you knew the situations, you knew what was happening. So in general, that was the nice thing about playing in Europe. If you go to Istanbul or you go to Rome or you go to Madrid, it's new. It's a new stadium. These were the same players that we fought many battles from, but still you needed to win.
Were you nervous? I know you're experienced, but still, it's a big game.
I think you're always nervous for games. I think you need that performance. You need to have a certain not anxiety, but a certain stress level to make sure that you bring the best out of yourself.
Let's take you back to the penalty shootout. And obviously we missed, and it gets to John Terry.
Did you score one? Did you take one?
I was next. I'm
you
so
next?
happy it wasn't. I'm so happy you done your job. I have to give you a little high five for that, because I was actually next, man. And I was I was so scared. I swear, I was standing there in the line, squeezing the guys, really just trying to stay on my feet because my legs were so wobbly. So I don't know how you guys were, but I was so thankful in the end. It was more relief.
Yeah.
But talk us about that moment as someone, John Terry's walking up, and then the moment he misses. What's going through your head at that moment?
Yeah, generally you do your preparation. You know which corners I think the players would take the shots.
Did you have the names and the direction on the bottom?
I had a piece of paper that together with Eric Steele, we watched the videos, and of course Lampard took many penalties also in the Premier League. Drogba. So we had a few pinned down and wrote them on a piece of paper. One of those little block notes from that you see in the hotel on the bedside table. Yeah. So it's I still have it.
Do you?
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
yeah.
wicked!
Yeah.
Oh, you should have brought it, Ed, man.
It's in my biography somewhere.
I like that.
Yeah, of course. I lost the Champions League final already on penalties. So somehow I think I can't lose another final again on penalties. So yeah, you concentrate, you do your utmost best, you try to outsmart the other players. Sometimes you succeed, most often you're not. But then, at a certain point you thought, okay, this is it. This is not going to happen for me because I went to the right and the ball went to the left. And luckily hit the post. And
then Anelka steps up. Did you ever see me? Because I've talked about this before. Did you see me? You
wanna.
I was saying
you wanna get 50% of the.
That's what I was trying to take ownership of this situation.
Okay, really? Yeah.
And I was going, you gotta go this way, Edwin. And luckily, you didn't listen to me one bit because you went the other way. Was that on your sheet?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
So Anelka was always going to go that way for you.
True, but I think they also had like a certain way of taking the penalties. I think they analyzed myself also. Normally analyze penalty takers, but I think they analyzed the goalkeeper.
Okay.
So that's what I heard a couple of years later. Anelka, I don't think Anelka stick to the plan they had.
Okay, so he went a different way to where he would normally go, and you read him.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love that shit, man. I love it. So you make the save. You go that way. You make the save. What's the feeling, man? Because there's not many people ever get that feeling. What is that feeling?
Yeah, that feeling of whatever your world stops 3-4 seconds. You know, you're the pinnacle of whatever the football world or things that are happening. You see you guys sprinting through the rain. You look to the right side. It's mayhem, and you have the 2-3-4 seconds that you're on your own. Watching you guys coming and all the things that you experienced through your life, your whatever, as a young boy, as failures, success, and everything. This is the moment, and that was the moment.
Yeah, no, it was. And the most important question: what was the after party like for you? All the families there, your wife, Anne-Marie, your wife.
But it was late.
It was
late, like whatever. It took ages. I remember. Because I don't think I have a picture in the dressing room because I was man of the match, whatever. I had to go to the press conference, so I think I missed out on most of the celebrations in the dressing room.
We both missed that. I had to do a bloody drugs test.
Oh yeah.
So I was in there on my own drinking beer on my own, and you was in a press conference. Yeah, the two main people in the thing we'd missed out.
And it took a long time to get back to the hotel, so it was like late. And of course, the families were there, and you had music, and you had took some picture with the trophy and. didn't really sink in, to be fair.
What? That was the drunkest night of my life.
You know, no, I don't know. I had a conversation with David Gill also. He never stepped up, to be fair, because I tried to get him to get us all Rolexes or something with Moscow 2008 and everything, but I don't think he fall for that one.
Mr. Gill was tight, man.
No, he was all right. my contracts were always fine, so that's the most important thing.
You know who got a watch that night? Giggsy. Because I organised.
Okay, that's good. That was a nice one because he surpassed Sir Bobby's record. I think.
I organised to get
I remember that
watch. All the lads chipped in. I don't know if you put your money in, but no, they were great times, man. And again, when there's certain people that you meet.
What about that party that night late in Manchester?
What one? There was a few.
There was not one. Like we arrived, very late in Manchester.
Oh, horrendous! The worst.
No parade. We went, I think, to a casino or something for a couple of drinks, but like, it's not the parties that I expected. To be fair, when to winning the Champions League with Manchester United.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you. We had Mr. Gill come on the show, and
you have to call him Mr.
I've always called him Mr. Gill,
okay.
yeah.
No, it's David, it's fine.
You call him David?
Yeah,
I don't know. You were the CEO, so it's different vibes between you guys.
But the same age, mostly.
Yeah, Mr. Gill, he was on. I asked him exactly that because I thought it was only me that thought that. You win the Champions League, the double with the Premier League, and we arrived back in the UK, in Manchester, and there's about 100 people there.
I know.
And we was thinking, and I see pictures of teams going and parading with 1 million people in the city centre and stuff. No one even bothered to come out, but the club didn't organise it. And they were told they couldn't because of what happened with Rangers.
The week before, I think there was a big fight.
They wrecked the city, so they wouldn't do it for us. So that was one of the big things that I regretted and didn't. The lead left a bad taste in a way. But you retire, you finish football, you become the Ajax marketing director. We talked about this at lunch yesterday with the guys. You didn't really have any time off.
Yeah, let's say I played till 40, 2011. After that, I did some commercial stuff for United, did some TV work for the Dutch television with Champions League. Did a master in sports management. So I went straight on, and then 2012 started. I got the opportunity to become one of the directors of the Ajax on the marketing side, and also try to bring back the club. Had some great conversation with Johan Cruyff at that point, with Dennis Bergkamp. And they wanted to have a football player developed into a path to become the chief executive of the club. I touched a little bit. I thought about the idea. I spoke to some people. I spoke with the agent. Spoke to my wife. Spoke to David Gill also. Went up to Manchester also for a day to talk to him.
What advice did you get from those people?
I said, and we want to talk to your wife also, just to make sure. Like I said, better not to, because if it's not going to be a good story. Because it takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of shit also.
You became the CEO, and a lot of people say to me, "Wow, did you think Edwin could be a CEO?" I didn't think about you becoming a CEO, but I wasn't surprised when I see you become a CEO, because out of all the goalkeepers I've played with, probably only had two ones that I would consider sensible. That's you.
Okay, but why don't you put like goalkeepers besides football players or something? Why I only had two goalkeepers who are sensible or something? What's are the football players not sensible then?
Football players, a lot of them aren't sensible, but most goalkeepers are, because there's fewer goalkeepers and most of them are crazy. It stands out a little bit, I think. But you and Shaq Hislop are probably the most sensible ones that I played with. No disrespect to the others, but so I kind of wasn't surprised that you become a CEO. What were some of the biggest challenges that you faced?
I think the reason we started with Frank de Boer as a manager, Mark Overmars, director of football, Dennis Bergkamp for Wim Jonk. So it was like 4 or 5 players who got a chance through Ajax, became household names in the world of football, had success, went abroad, and to be there all together to try to create and bring back the club. I think the club had some issues in the past and everything, and we driven away from what Ajax is. It's about creating talent, giving young players a chance, the ability to play offensive football, and that's something that we wanted to bring back. And I think that we succeeded in that part, and we had created great success, even playing a European final against Manchester United in 2017. So those days were amazing.
You look at that, and you say like the ingredients to build a senior team, like, and obviously the club that we were at, Man United, are in that process now. What are the real core ingredients you look at with your experience you've had? Ajax, you go, listen, you need to get these things right to make sure that you have a chance. Not that it's going to be successful, definitely, but you give yourself the best chance to create a successful team, but also club. It's a loaded question. I know what you're thinking.
How long do we have? No, yeah, I think stability is the main thing. I think there's always been a lot of opposition, let's say, against the Glazers. I think they bought the club in 2005, 2006, and the last 10, 12 years have not brought that to Manchester United. And I think the line what they have now with a new CEO, a new football director, a sport director, you have Jim Ratcliffe responsible for the sportive side, the Glazers still on the commercial side, and the major ownership. I think you have to give it time now to develop that stability that the club needs.
How do you go about doing that from the top? Because we were players, and it's you do your thing as a player, and you kind of shut off all the noise.
Whatever. Yeah, I think the most important figure for us was the manager, and of course after the game, you had the directors or the owners coming into the dressing room and shaking your hand, congratulations, or when there's a trophy, take a picture with the trophy. But now, when you retired yourself and you became a director, you know how not important, but how big an organization is before you get the 11 players to play on a Saturday afternoon at 3:00 to play football. So there's so many things are needed to facilitate the players and the club and the fans to enjoy the 90 minutes of football.
And you say that, like, listen, we looked at the manager. When you look at a club like Manchester United, is it just the manager, or is it the players? Is it the hierarchy that's running the club? Where do you see that the responsibility lies the strongest? Now you've been in all positions almost, other than manager.
Yeah, I think everybody is responsible for his own department, and of course, as a CEO or a director, you're responsible for the whole thing. But yeah, the main thing is, I think, the director of football and the manager, the coach, to get the best players that you have. Of course, develop your own players. I think that's also for Man United a really important part of it. I think the culture of bringing also young players, academy grown players to the club into the first team, and then the coach or the manager need to make sure it's a winning team, and that's harder than people think.
What's he like, Erik Ten Hag? You had him at Ajax. What's he like as a person?
I think he's hardworking. He's loyal. He's someone that brought us a lot of success, great football. I think we also facilitate him. Also, I think we got Dusan Tadic, was like a good player at Southampton, but for us, a tremendous player, a player that gave us belief, gave us conviction that we could do. I sold myself, Daily Blind, or myself together with Mark Overmars, to Manchester United. I think Daily did okay. I don't think he got appreciated enough at United, and we bought him back for even more money and also a higher salary to bring him back into the club and make sure that he could able to develop also, for example, Matthijs de Ligt. So that combination with great players and Erik, who got his, let's say, first opportunity at the big club at Ajax, to create history for us. And yeah, we always did it by reaching the final and a couple of seconds away from the final in the Champions League in 2019. So he's been great for us.
I've interviewed him a couple of times, and he seems like a really steely character. Did you speak to him about going there to expect this element maybe and to be able to deal with it?
Of course, I spoke about the club, about the history, of course, but I think he prepared himself well for the job. He delivered 2 trophies in the first 2 years.
You finished your role at Ajax. Did that finish the way that you would have liked? We spoke yesterday, and I could see there was a tinge of like...
Not really, because you hope to finish on a high. And I think we have won a couple of trophies, did well in Europe, created value for the club. We sold a tremendous amount of players. We did on the commercial side, fantastic deals with Adidas, the main sponsor. We created something special. We created a culture again that Ajax need to be top in developing talent. The future for talent is Ajax. The academy grows, but you want to end, let's say, with a trophy, with a championship, and that didn't happen. I think the 11, 12 years were tough. Were great.
Stressful.
It's stressful. It's a lot. It's your at a certain point you're going to be lived by your diary, your telephone, the emails, the results. So at a certain point I had enough. It was sort of criticism is nice, but they have to be real. They have to be honest. At a certain point I thought, why do I put so many hours into a job? It's not my club. It's of course it's great to be part of it, but I wanted to have a lesser occupied week, to be fair.
So just to finish on a lighter note, who would be your top 3 goalkeepers in the world right now?
I always admired Manuel Neuer, and of course he's coming towards, let's say, maybe not the end of his career, but I like him. I think Donnarumma did a lot of nice things. Of course, I like a footballing goalkeeper. Ederson I like from City. Alisson, I like the way he composes himself. He's quiet. It's doesn't make the saves. Doesn't make. But even I spoke to Peter Schmeichel also. I think he said it himself also. Like he needed a certain way of reacting during a game. Like he needed for himself to perform on the highest level. But that's never been my game. But same with what you said about myself. What I said to you. Just focus on the things to do. I coach you, I help you, but don't come bothering me, because I know when I make a mistake or when I should have played the ball to the left or to the right. Say it in halftime, and I've never been a big shouter.
And I just thought about it now, talking about good goalkeepers. Raya and Ramsdale last season, they had 2 number ones.
Yeah.
How would you have dealt with that? Because that was a big debate, a big talking point last season when that happened. If Man United had bought another number one at that point, what does that do to the current number one in the team?
Yeah, I think even a goalkeeper, you don't make that many actions during a game. You train hard during the week to make sure you prepare yourself for everything, that you have the best reaction saves, that you're quick, that you can outsmart the striker or whatever. But you need a couple of actions during a game, and when you only have one game a week, it's probably difficult to maintain that sharpness. But personally, I wouldn't have liked it. And of course, I know you need to develop players, because I think we spoke about also that sometimes on a Friday I saw Ferguson trotting off towards like the goalkeeping area. We had 4 or 5 goalkeeping areas, and you guys were doing your stuff. And on the Friday coming towards, and Edwin, big man, come in. I said, yes, boss, what's up? Yeah, we have a big game on Tuesday, Bayern Munich away. So I need a massive performance from the team and from yourself also. So tomorrow I'm gonna give you a rest. I'm gonna put Thomas or Ben into the team, but I need a performance from you on Tuesday. Fuck's sake, we play at home and everything. Probably it's gonna be a couple of catches and I love to play at Old Trafford. So they got a rest, and then you need to develop players also. And if I think most of the time I was fit. I was able to play even at a later stage in my career. But you need to, also as a manager, think about the future next year or what's. So you need to know if a younger centre half can fill the gap if a player leaves, and then the same thing with a goalkeeper, because you can get injured, and if a goalkeeper doesn't have a little bit of a rhythm of a game, then it's difficult to perform or win the league at the end of the season.
Talking about rhythm, Onana, he seems to have got into a rhythm this season. I think
he has great rhythm, André.
Yeah. he seems to have got into a good rhythm. He's been Man United's most consistent player, I think, this season. What's your take on him on his first year and a bit at Manchester United so far?
Yeah, of course. I experienced André as a young player when he came from the youth team Barcelona to Amsterdam. Developed him really well. He developed really well. That was really important at Ajax for us. I trained a few times with him when we were like on training camp, and I always joined the session. It was great. I saw Bobby Charlton pictures on the 99 eve of the 99 Champions League from Man United that he trained at the pitch in Bernabeu of in at Camp Nou.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh wow! I didn't know
It was amazing. So for myself, that was also nice as a director to join in the group and everything, and I trained a few times with him, and I saw the talent and the strength, the reaction saves, of course he needs experience and he needs to make mistakes, and I think he made a few at Ajax, made a few at United, and I think that develops you as a person and as a goalkeeper. He's a very strong character, and I think that helps him to probably become one of the best goalkeepers in the coming years.
Wow, I love that.
Here you go.
I love that. Seriously, that's
you're welcome, André.
Last thing now, and we started touching on it before when you mentioned Zidane. You've played with some great players in your career. Give me your top 5 players, 5-a-side team.
Okay, not particular order. I think I put Frank Rijkaard there.
He was one of my favorite players, growing up.
Yeah, I think I know that. He's tall and everything. He has a nice movement. He can play midfield, can play centre half. I think for you also, I think you could have played centre midfield also or not.
Thanks, Ed.
Yeah.
In today's game, maybe not in our time.
Zidane, I think a great player. Zizou, need to be in there. Yeah, Giggs or Scholes, one of the two.
Which one?
Yeah, difficult. I put Scholes. It's somebody who need to score some goals. Yes, Ryan. Okay.
Giggsy. What was great about Giggsy?
Yeah, just overall, I think the way that I spoke to the guys many times, not many times, but they played only for one club. And I asked them sometimes, "What do you want to play for? Whatever bigger team, other team or something in Europe, Italy or Spain?" For fuck's sake, I need to learn a new language. My family is here. The money is good. We have success. Why the fuck should I go to a different club? I said, that's true. But like for a foreigner or for a Dutch player, you need to go out of your own league. You need to go out of your own country to have success, to play with bigger players.
So you immediately think like that even growing up, don't you? Probably I'm going to go elsewhere.
I think you have that because whatever you grow up with watching, all the better players are playing Spain, Italy, England. Of course, there are some alterations during certain eras, but those are the big leagues, and that's where you want to play. At a certain point, of course, you want to make it as a player for your club in Holland, and you want to reach a national team, and then after that, you want to go to a big team in a big competition.
So Rijkaard, Giggsy, Zidane,
Cristiano.
What made him great? You see him at Manchester United. Let's talk about that time.
I think we saw that also. I think he developed, but also I think we developed him. I think we were like the experienced players. I had also a couple of words with him and a couple of chats about what to do. And remember him sitting in the old gym with an elastic band on his ankle and having to. So you're in early. But I wanna. So what's your aim? I want to become the best footballer in the world.
He said that to you.
So okay, Ronnie said a lot of players want to be the best player in the world. Said like,
did you believe he could?
No, I want to be the best player in the world. And I think the way he trained, like the way he did the gym, his technique training, shooting, free kicks. Yeah, he put a lot of things in it. I think he had his own chef already at that time. I remember. After training, he always said, like, Edwin, let's take some free kicks. I said, Ronnie, take Thomas or take Ben or something. It's
take my youngers.
Take somebody else. Like, no, I want to score against the best. Said Ronnie, you're not going to score. Go and goal. Okay, so we went and goal, and of course, the way he stands and took the free kicks. And especially that time, he had those balls that were going that way. And so, okay, not last 3. And when he didn't score, no, one more. They always wanted to finish with a goal. Say, Ronnie, what about my confidence? Why is it only about your confidence? So it was fantastic to work with him and to play with him and the way he developed himself and still is playing. So great accomplishment.
Crazy. So one more, last one.
One more.
Some teamness, by the way.
Okay. Clarence Seedorf. Only played short bit at Ajax because he was very early when he came in the team, and also he left quite early already.
Was he 16 when he came in the first team?
He was 16, yeah. As a right back he came in. But
Clarence Seedorf was a right back when he came in?
No. He was, but he got an opportunity as a right back. I think he made a debut as a right back.
Wow.
But he played all over. He played as number 3. He played as a 6, as a 10. He could play. I think he plays as a striker also. One game against Feyenoord, he played as a like a little bit in the Messi role, like the number 9 role. I think he played there also.
He was a ridiculous footballer. I think he's one of the most at the top level. I think he's probably one of the most unappreciated players outside of players. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fans and media don't talk about. We talk about greats. When I think he should be in that conversation.
I think he did. The way that he played at several clubs, several leagues. The way he conduct himself.
Well, Ed,
is that okay?
That's brilliant, man. You were great. Thank you so much for your time. Nice to see you, man.
Nice to see you too. Always a pleasure.
Always.